Greetings, everybody in the land of internet out there. I am Ryan Stickshelna, proudly here to announce that right now you are about to listen to an interview with Canadian punk legends, GOB. Now, I've met GOB a couple of times over the years now, and I must say this is one of the most favorite interviews I've ever done. First of all, I start off with Steven, their bass player, and we geek out. Oh my God, we geek out so much. You have no idea how much geekiness. And if you're a GOB fan, you're going to be like, talk about the music. Get your fingers out of your nose. Just please talk about the music. And I promise, we talk about the new album. We talk about Apartment 13 and its wonderfulness and its maturity and its awesomeness and its anger. But we also do talk about Deadpool. We also talk about Star Wars. We also talk about Batman v Superman and Captain America, the Civil War. And then we talk about the new album. And then we talk more about Star Wars. I mean, this interview was conducted by yours truly, having been slightly intoxicated. I was just so filled with liquor that I, got drunk. And that's what happens. But you know what? I consider myself a semi-professional. I don't consider myself an alcoholic. I just like to party, but I like to party when I'm watching GOB. Yeah, that's what I mean. People who know me in my life, they can talk to me and they can be like, Ryan, man, oh my God, you used to be cool. It's like, oh God, you used to be. Yeah. Sometimes I get lazy on a weeknight. Oh man, I'm asleep by 8 o'clock in the morning. But when GOB comes to town, it ignites the beast in me. I become a 15-year-old kid again. So anyway, without further ado, let us begin this trip down memory lane and awesomeness and geek culture and, of course, the new GOB album, Apartment 13, available in stores and online now. I would just like to say, before we start off this interview, Gabe, the drummer, I've talked to him every single time I've come to town. I did not get him this time because I'm a dick, and also it just didn't happen. And I don't know. Beer was drank once again. Liquor was drank, but the most important thing about it, though, Gabe, is if you're hearing this before anyone else gets to hear me talking about GOB and its awesomeness and geek culture, Gabe, the drummer, you complete me. Yep, you complete me. But you don't complete this interview. This interview is incomplete because you're not in it. But let's just pretend you were. And let's start the show. Ooh.
Do you remember our first interview?
Were
you recording? You asked each member who was like the nerd in the band.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was fucking bullshit because Gabe's like, I'm the nerd, and you're like, why? You're like, because he was like, oh, because I like read books. Do you remember this? That's what he said. So
I remember because I edited it. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Well, that's what he said. It's like that doesn't make you a nerd. You're just a human. And then Tom's like, I'm the biggest nerd. And he's like, you don't understand. I'm a nerd. This is Tom. He's like, you don't understand. I'm a nerd because I play this game on my iPhone all the time. That just makes you you just love your phone.
Yeah.
We'll love those. And then Theo said he's a nerd, which he kind of is because he understands how computers are built. He kind of gets how computers are built. He can like build fucking computers from scratch. He's like a kind of a genius with that shit. But now
like the last navigator.
Let them know how you know that who truly is.
I think Steven is the biggest nerd because we both belong to a Facebook group that I'm not going to divulge right now because no one deserves to be in it besides us.
Yeah.
Let's just say, like, there's an extreme. Tom just walked by and gave us a look, which proves the ostracization. I've had a few. I'm not gonna lie, everybody. Yeah. I've had a few watching GOB, but the thing is about watching GOB is that when you watch GOB and you've been a Canadian kid like me, and the thing is, like, when everyone played only Serial Joe and the Bare Naked Ladies and Alanis Morissette, and you didn't think there was any Canadian content that you could call your own, GOB comes on TV with Soda and You're Too Cool and just rocks your fucking ass off. So I'm just watching you guys tonight, and I become a kid again. And you know what the best thing about watching the show tonight was? There's like little groups of different dancers. It wasn't like the big pit, but like there's two chicks here, there's two chicks there, just looking at each other and dancing and singing along, and it was magical.
For sure.
And I really, really love that stuff. Now you've been in the band for how long now?
About 8 years, I think.
There you go, 8 years. But how long has the band been together as a total?
20 years.
There you go. So 8 years out of 20. So you had a chance to look as an outsider for the first little bit of this 8 years. Now you own it. Now you're part of the band. Now you're part of the machine.
I truly was an outsider before I even joined. they were kind of courting me for a few years, but even before I even joined, I got to go out on tour with the GOB guys for a bit of a tour, just as an entourage, not even as part of the band, but as an entourage. And I got to kind of hang out, be in the audience, just hang out with the guys. And that's ultimately what made me kind of join the band, really, was just seeing how fun it is, seeing how much fun it is with the guys. The audience has so much fun, and that's truly... I mean, it sounds cheesy, but it's truly the most important thing. It doesn't matter what notes are coming out of an amp. It really matters when the audience is going off, having a good time. You're on stage and you're part of that. It sounds cheesy, but that's kind of the ultimate kind of rad feeling, and that's kind of made me join the band ultimately.
And coming into the band, it's intimidating because GOB has a legacy before you join, and you have to prove yourself. But at the same time, it's just like, I've seen GOB play a lot of times, but Steve, I gotta say, you fucking bring it. Especially before your amp started fucking up, right. And there was a team preventing Spinal Tap from happening on stage tonight. And I saw the look on your face, but the best thing about it is you're a pro. You kept it cool. You never stopped. You pretended nothing was wrong.
Right.
And frankly, the only reason why I knew something was wrong because I'm a musician as well. But anybody coming to the show wouldn't have noticed.
I mean, it's not really keeping it cool. It's a mirroring of me in any relationship. When things go horribly wrong, I keep going. I pretend everything's okay, and I just pretend everything's okay, and I just keep moving forward, and I ignore the problems while hopefully someone behind me fixes it that I trust, and I apologize to everyone I've dated because of that.
And who do you keep behind you when you're dating?
Just multiple men fixing issues.
That's amazing. All right. So the new album's been out for about a year now.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, as a listener, when I listen to it, it is a departure from the usual GOB sound. But the 15-year-old who first heard GOB is different from the 31-year-old that stands before you today. And the 31-year-old appreciated the musical difference that you guys provided. The 31-year-old knew where your head was at when Tom was writing these songs and you guys were recording this. Now, I hope that the fans have aged and matured as much as I have. But I gotta say that I appreciate the album. I appreciate the songs, and even maybe I'll even say it to Tom later, but I understand he must have had some kind of Morrissey influence in the vocals, especially in the last track. What was it? I Won't Leave You Standing There. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Standing There. Yeah, I think a lot of the records from an outside point of view are kind of a reflection of the last record. I think if you go back and listen to each record, Too Late No Friends, the kind of the hardness of Too Late No Friends, to the kind of more accessible rock and roll of World According to kind of the really heaviness of Muertos Vivos.
Very heavy, I must say, that album.
Heavy. So this one's kind of the reaction to that. So I think that they came off that one where it's quite heavy. Sonically and lyrically, it's quite a heavy record. So I think they kind of wanted to get back and do a little bit. It's kind of a reflection. So it is kind of a change for sure. But I think after 20 years, everything's going to be a change. But if you go back and listen to each record, they're all kind of changed in a way, and they all kind of an evolution of the one prior that came prior before them. So it's kind of a natural thing. But yeah, for sure, Tom. Tom kind of is a nerd, not as he said he is with iPhone video games, but he's kind of a bit of a wordsmith, and he's kind of like a brainy guy. So he's going to be kind of pushing his melodies. Is it melodies the word I'm thinking of?
I guess so. I want to tell you something funny. The last time I saw Tom, based on my hair, he's just like, I asked him things like, hey, what do you like as a kid, and what was your favorite childhood Christmas gift? And he brought up Star Wars a lot. He's and he kept calling me Luke Skywalker. He's like, hey, Halloween's coming up. You better go as Luke Skywalker. Yeah. So I come up to him today, and I'm like, hey, you ready for Star Wars? It's in a month. He's like, I am the last guy in the band. You should be asking about this. And I'm just like, asshole, I went as Luke Skywalker last Halloween. Yeah. Based on the peer pressure you presented to me.
I remember the photos, and he had the Follick. He had the fallen Follick. I think it was great. I think it was fucking great.
What's funny though is that when I did it, I'm like, wait till Tom from Gob sees my costume.
For sure. And now you know. And now you know who the true nerd is.
I should have been trying to impress you the entire time.
Well, I mean, you don't have to try. You already did. I mean, I've seen your photos online. I mean, that sounds sexual. It is very much so.
You don't care that I don't know how to do a push-up? It's fine.
When I say that I've seen online, I've seen you erect your lightsaber, it's not what people think. It's sexual.
Yep, on YouPorn, all you gotta do is Google Ryan Saber 2000, and you'll see a very small lightsaber.
It's beautiful, and it's caused problems because now I can't reach a climax without it.
Yeah, it was cold in Hoth that day.
Oh God!
Yeah.
You had to put your privates in a bit of a tauntaun guts to get that shit warmed back up in that bitch.
This is getting This is getting ridiculous.
We gotta get. Are we gonna get on the nerd? Are we gonna get on the?
We are gonna get on the nerd stuff. All right. You know what? We talked about God for 8 minutes. Now we're allowed to talk about whatever we want. So, are you ready to get your mind blown from December to I want to say November, but that's not true. From December to May, because every month, with the exception of January, something crazy is coming out. We got Star Wars in December. Then January, you take a little break. But then February, you got Deadpool. And then March, you get Batman versus Superman. Then April, May, you get Captain America: Civil War. Now, it's going to leave us twitching.
Yeah.
And it's everything I've ever wanted in the span of like 5 months.
I know. I think when you look at the rollout for DC and Marvel over 2016 and so on, it's going to give you the feeling, and not to paraphrase Kevin Smith, it's going to give you the feeling when you're getting...
Paraphrase that lovely bastard all you want.
It's going to give you the feeling with so much released. It's going to give you the feeling when you're getting oral, and then you finish, and then the girl keeps going, because it's just not gonna stop. Every single month or two, there's something coming out. I'm most excited about Batman v Superman myself, but I'm looking out to Star Wars and Deadpool. I mean, I love Deadpool. I don't really read the comics that much, but I'm stoked to see how Ryan Reynolds can redeem himself, because he kind of almost ruined Green Lantern. I mean, I don't know who they're going to cast as Green Lantern anymore. I was hoping the guy that was in Luther could be John Stewart.
John Stewart.
Yeah.
You know what'd be really great though, if they just let Nathan Fillion be Hal Jordan, because that Firefly, that's pretty much Hal Jordan.
Here's what my hope was when I heard the rumors of Chris Pine cast in a DC movie before it was announced that he was going to be the love interest for Wonder Woman in her solo film. He was going to be a Hal Jordan. And I think he'd be an amazing Hal Jordan.
He is going to be a good Steve Trevor, though.
For sure he'd be a good Steve Trevor, but I mean, I'm just curious who's going to be the Hal Jordan now, because you need the seven. You need this. It's like Lord of the Rings. You need the seven. You know, I think they got Cyborg cast. You know what I mean? They got Flash cast. They got Batman. They got Superman cast. They got Wonder Woman cast. Now, who's going to be that Green Lantern? Who's going to fill that hole?
I'm sorry. Just the people who are listening in this room right now, who are listening to us talk, and they're like, oh my God, they're going to talk about comic stuff with this horrible look in their eyes. Oh, you want to learn? Oh my God, if you want to learn, then Steven's the guy to listen to. Hey, Tom's walking by right now. Hey, Tom. I went as Luke Skywalker based on peer pressure comments of you last year. Are you glad that I listened to you?
Absolutely. I don't think it was peer pressure. I just think that you fit the role so well. Like, kind of like young looking, cute blonde.
Well, thank you for calling me young and cute.
You're not as whiny, but like you may be to like in certain situations.
I'm never going to get off this rock.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I could be very whiny, Tom. Don't test me. Tom, I was just talking to Steven here about the wonderfulness of this show tonight, and I even made up a word called wonderfulness to describe it. I was just watching you, and I've been watching you guys since I was a kid, and listening to your music and the evolution of it, and basically just watching the audience tonight. The most beautiful thing about it was not that there was just this mosh pit. There was this little moments of these. Here's some girls here, here's some girls there, and they're dancing and singing, looking at each other, just being in seventh heaven because Gob is on stage. And I just thought that was absolutely wonderful. Now, how do you feel that after all these years you can still touch people like that without physically touching them?
I did not touch a single one of those women.
Well, you did
Because you mentioned women
with the force.
with the force. I mean, that could be taken so many ways.
In the last couple of years, when I interviewed you guys the first
That's
time.
what it's all about, is touching women.
Okay, so when I interviewed you guys the first time, you guys were talking about an album coming out. When we met up again the second time, you're like, the album is out. Now that the album's been out for a year and these songs have been released to the world, are you happy with the way that way that they've been received?
Here's the thing. All these bands are like, before they put the record out, they put all the fucking singles out. Like Beyonce released everything. We're doing it different. Like, we put our second single out and it's a year later. We're like dragging it out. We're not gonna like take as much time as we can to expose as much gob to people as we can.
And what is the second single where people can find it?
The second single is called Walking Alone.
Oh, amazing. Seriously, it's like awesome. It's deep. You're singing so deep, man. Oh, it's what's the music video like?
It's hard to turn away from.
Okay.
It's a very interesting video.
And it's on YouTube right now, or is it coming out?
It's on YouTube. I guess it's coming out. It's always coming out somewhere new.
It's on YouTube right now, so we can all look it up, including me. Jeez.
For sure.
Thanks for the heads up, Steven. I thought we kept in contact.
I mean, I don't advertise on our nerd crew.
Keep in contact.
Oh, we do. We
We're in a nerd
What do
crew.
you?
we touch tips virtually.
Can we take a look at like your text feed or something so we can see what you talk about?
Well, here's the thing. The nerd group that I speak of, that you're on, that we communicate on, Tom is actually also on.
Tom, you're a member of.
Shit we like on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
The nerd group.
Yeah, but I just don't really do a lot of Facebook.
You should do. David from Simple Plan, would you?
Hello,
David
from Simple Plan.
David from Simple Plan. Name dropping. What did you think of the show tonight?
David and I do a lot of things with our faces and books.
Look at this.
Sexual things.
Look at this.
Oh, they're touching feet right now.
Same shoes.
David, you've seen Gob a bunch of wonderful times. What do you think of the show tonight specifically?
I loved it. It was amazing. It was right in the face. The songs kicked me in the face like Ming Tran.
That's pretty hard. That's pretty hardcore.
The best point of the set for me, I mean, there were high points, but in that song, there was a guy in the mosh pit, like doing his thing, and when he went for the kick, he fell on his back. He kicked so fucking hard, he fell on his back. That was the best part.
That's amazing.
Saw him. It's because his jacket was too heavy.
Flannel jacket?
Yeah.
Fucking heavy jacket. So heavy, like the slang from Back to the Future came probably from French.
Oh, guys, Back to the Future happened like yesterday.
No,
No, it's
not
today.
yet.
It's today.
No, it's not.
Is it Sunday?
It is sunny. Well, it's Monday. But I don't think it's the 20. Is it the
No,
October 21st?
No, because
October 21st, 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So Back to the Future Day, the likes.
It's today.
So I like to speak on behalf of the human race. Where the fuck is our hoverboards?
You know what? Hoverboards, Tesla, I believe, developed some sort of hoverboard.
They kind of did, but
Am I right?
You're right.
Marty's not exactly going to use it down the street to avoid the creeps.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
because of his shaking disease is why he can't
Oh.
ride it down the
But you know what? I'm hoping he gets Alzheimer because he'll forget to shake.
I.
He just wrote an autobiography, actually, Michael J. Fox.
Was it called Forget the Shake?
I'm not sure, but the sales were pretty shaky.
We just saw him in McDonald's on this tour. Actually, he was just hanging out having a shake.
That's Andrew from the Boyds. Everyone.
And that
Japanese
all that
restaurant
talking
in my
shit
neighborhood.
is how you get more swallowers on your Instagram.
Lots.
Michael J. Fox fucking at a Japanese restaurant. His like daughter and her friends were like having food, and he came in and he like, there's no story here. The story is that I saw Michael J. Fox in a fucking neighborhood.
Wait.
Fucking neighborhood.
I thought you were going to make a shaking joke, but did you actually see
I'm
him?
not gonna make. Yes, I did.
He walked up.
there you go.
Hey, man was shaking.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough.
That's enough?
Okay, let's just
Hey,
let's just shake it off.
I don't appreciate the Marty jokes.
Let's just
okay?
shake it off.
Yeah. Actually, it can be fucking hilarious if Taylor Swift got fucking Parkinson's.
Parkinson's, yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
If Taylor Swift got Parkinson's,
Shake
that'd
It
be pretty
Off,
funny.
single.
Like, shake it off. Shake it.
I love her, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So do we.
Haven't.
Must have. I don't know.
Haven't. I really wish I would have, but I really like that video she did where she's on the big, sitting on the big ball, almost naked.
No, that's
That's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Speaking of the Miley Cyrus, what influenced this new T-shirt of yours?
Steven, actually, because he wanted to do just a picture of Taylor Swift.
Well, I wanted.
Steven doesn't understand a few things about a few things. And you can't just put like a pop star's face on a shirt. So I'm a fan of Miley.
You're a fan of Taylor Swift.
I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. I'm a fan of like most pop singers. I'm a fan of Azalea Banks. Like most people I know, I shouldn't even say that.
No, probably not.
Admit to that one.
Well,
Say it.
I don't think you should worry about cool points.
Yeah, I'm not worried about cool points.
So, Steven, back to our interview right there. So, basically, we're in for a great 5 months.
It's true, yeah.
What do you want to see out of Batman versus Superman the most?
I want to see Ben Affleck nail it as Bruce. I mean, I think.
I think he might, honestly, Steven, because they've lined up 3 more Batman movies and no more Superman movies. So, honestly, with what they've seen so far, something must be working.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're going for an older, grizzled Batman, which I appreciate, and I think he'll bring it too. Quote me here, but I think he's going to be the best Batman in film history.
And I'll get my ass kicked for this. Well, not really, but people will just be like, what the hell? But the thing is, it's just like the unexplained and the untested, the unseen. People are shitting on him already. They're shitting on him from the day he was announced as Batman. It's like, clearly somebody
But you know
believes
what?
in him.
And I understand that, kind of so as I, but if you go back and you look at the casting post Batman Begins, pre-Dark Knight, and Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker. If you remember the internet, landscape, everyone was losing their minds that Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker because they looked at their facial structure. They didn't think he had sharp enough features, and they're all doubters, including me, including people that we know. They're all doubters. Heath Ledger, because of the actor that he is, he performed. And it was a Joker now it's the Joker to beat. It's the Joker to beat. I don't know if Jared Leto is going to beat it. So I'm hoping that same doubt that people had for Heath pre-Joker, Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan, I'm hoping that the same doubt is going to shadow over Ben Affleck. That the doubters are going to be just as surprised with Affleck's performance as they were with Heath Ledger. Maybe not as much because he did win that Oscar, but Jesus, that's what I hope is going to happen.
And that's it too. Batman has never been directed by a pure action director before. People can shit on Zack Snyder for being like, "Oh man, Man of Steel, the last 40 minutes, all it was action." It's like, I've never seen a Batman movie not directed by Tim Burton, not directed by Joel Schumacher, not directed by Chris Nolan. None of these guys who bring like action to the table of like what it defines you. I'm an action director, so Batman's actually going to do a spin kick. Batman's actually going to.
That's true. That's one thing I think that lacked with Nolan's take was, he made it real, he made it earnest, he made it kind of like a cop movie, but he didn't know how to direct a camera for action scenes. All of the fighting scenes lacked, and that's what I would love to see with Snyder's is him stepping up the action and having a clear view of how this kick-ass Bruce is. And also, they didn't really show, and he had 3 movies to show, Nolan, is just the fact how Wayne is truly a genius. He's supposed to be not only the world's best ninja, but possibly the world's smartest detective.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see
The Grant Morrison Bat God.
we need to see some brilliance of his mind, of his intelligence, and see that he is truly the world's best detective. And we didn't see that, so I'm hoping that's going to happen as well.
It's something amazing. I'm just going to bring up the rest of it because for the rest of this interview, folks, if you are not into nerd shit, turn it off. I don't give a fuck. But we're talking about this shit. The thing about Deadpool, the amazing thing about the world, is that they already had Deadpool in a movie, and they fucked him up. And the same studio, not a reboot studio, not Marvel getting the rights back, the same studio is willing to make the changes that if Marvel got him back, would have made these changes. We're talking Fox still has Deadpool. but they're still willing to swallow their pride in the advertisements for this movie. They're talking about how they used to fuck up. You know, that leniency is an incredible time, and had the world not been like it is as well, they would have never have admitted that. Nevertheless, let them be part of the advertisement that from the studio who screwed up Deadpool the first time. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I mean, they looked at the mistakes that they made and they faced it head on. And I don't know if that's Ryan Reynolds' kind of quipness, if that's a word, but they faced it head on. I mean, they took the merchant with the mouth and they sewed his fucking mouth shut. Like the biggest mistake you can do. It was totally embarrassing. So, I mean, I have big hopes. I mean, I have really big hopes for Deadpool. I think it's going to be great, and I believe it's going to be R-rated. So it's just going to be.
It's R-rated officially. So that's another amazing thing. And Captain America: The Civil War. This is the first time you'll ever see a superhero fight another superhero. Ever, besides Batman v Superman, but instead of one guy versus another guy, we're talking like 15 versus 15, and it's going to be amazing. It sounds like WrestleMania. It sounds like Survivor Series. People are going to get together. It's like, are you on the team of Captain America? Are you on the team of?
We saw a hint of it in the first Avengers in the forest scene where Thor and Iron Man and Captain America were kind of fighting each other, and we saw a hint of it. And we saw a hint of it of Hulk versus Thor in the same movie, and people loved it. That was a great scene. So I mean, I'm stoked. I'm excited to see how they go away from the comic. I'm stoked to see how close they keep to the source material. If they venture off, I don't know. I mean, if you read the source material, you know there's going to be deaths. There's going to be big deaths. Yeah. I don't know what's going to spark it. You kind of see the seed of it in Age of Ultron. So I'm excited to see that for sure.
You know, every time me and Steven get together, it's like the greatest conversation of all time, because it's like we're living in this world where no one understands us, and then all of a sudden.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, we're in a room. We're in a room with like. We're in a room with dummies spraying beer on us. Yeah. But truly, people do know what we're talking about. When we're speaking to the internet, we're talking about these things. Lots of people care about these issues.
Yeah.
They truly do.
You know what? We're reaching out to you. If you live in a small town and no one understands you, and when you walk with your Spider-Man shirt and you have to hide it with your jacket because you're almost partially afraid to do so, just know that we're watching. We're listening.
Like before he fell off the horse.
Tom just told you to say that.
Dude. No, I told him.
You know what? Steven does look like Superman.
Him too earlier.
And
Superman, Luke Skywalker, fucking lethal combo.
Totally fucked.
Are you talking about Christopher Reeve or
lightsabers and shit?
Did we get that?
it sounds bad, and it's in the background, but yes, it's there. All right, Tom. So what's the next adventure for Gob?
The next adventure is to get back across Canada.
Are you going to make more music?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to record. I wanted to record that the underground version that we played tonight.
It was good. Actually, it was way more balls. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the original way that I wrote it, and then I changed it because I'm fucking... Sometimes I veer off the path, you know? Like, sometimes the force just isn't with you. But sometimes it is. And then, so like after that, we're going to... Too Late No Friends anniversary tour.
Are you going to play it from front to back? Like the Offspring and Metallica do with their old albums?
I would like to.
Awesome. Fantastic.
I plan to.
Well, I can't wait till you get to... I'm trying to remember the name of the title because it's my favorite album, but I'm drunk as hell. The name of your heavy but more professional album after Too Late No Friends with...
How Far Shall It Take You?
How Far Shall It... Thanks, Tom.
We played 2 deep cuts from that tonight.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing about How Far Shall It Take You is that was an album that I heard a band become a monster. Like, I like Too Late No Friends, but when I heard How Far Shall It Take You, I heard... that's like a 2-year difference, right? Yeah. In a band, but I heard you guys become a monster. Like, man, how thick you got, how punchy you got. Instead of being like, yeah, we're a punk band, it's like, oh my god, we're a fucking rock gods, motherfucker, and there's no turning back. That's how I felt about How Far Shall It Take You.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was.
You played great, and The World According to God was huge. And, when I was listening to your songs tonight, I was just like, this is a band that can fucking write. Like, every time I listen to a band in a bar, so I'm like, okay, this is what they do. But then each song, I'm just like, I'm singing along to it, but I haven't heard this song in years, and it doesn't matter because it's still the best song ever right now. And by the second chorus, I know it. Even if it's new, I know it. You've done well, Tom.
Luke, thank you very much. Like that is.
May the force be with you. This is Ryan Sticks signing off for Section Nerd Galactic Radio /Season 0. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Thank you, Steven, for sitting next to me and talking about the geek shit.
Thank you so much, man.
And let's have all ourselves a good night. Have a happy Halloween and sayonara.
And that was my interview with God. But you know what? What I said before about missing Gabe, before I turned off this recorder, I was missing Theo. And as soon as I pushed stop on that recorder, trust me, it took every ounce of my being to just push it down because I did not want to stop. I wanted to keep talking about Star Wars. I wanted to keep talking about the new album. But I realized I need some Theo because even my interviews from back in the day, which you can watch on the Season 0 YouTube page called The Geeks of Gob and Interview with Gob, I needed to talk to Theo because Theo is a guy who can build computers almost from scratch. He's an actual genius. And I just had to listen to him talk. And once again, we talked about at the end of that? We talked about Star Wars. We talked about Marvel. We talked about it all. So anyway, I'm glad you stuck around, guys, and keep on listening.
Now, everyone tells me that you are a genius when it comes to making stuff, like a MacGyver with the technology. Now, how long has this happened? Were you a prodigy? Did you learn how to do this? How did you become a geek? In a sense that you can make your own Terminator.
2 plus 2 is Jello. I'm just kidding. I probably used that on you last time. That same joke.
No, but the thing is, it's just that we haven't actually had the time to sit down and talk about stuff.
Building stuff. I don't know. When I was a little kid, I always liked to take things apart and see how they worked. And I don't know. To this day, like I fixed Steven's computer a few times. I took his laptop apart. I built a couple of my own computers. It's not like that's not very hard, but I mean, I fix weird things sometimes. It's just, I don't know. I just learn how to do it.
Popular consensus would say that fixing a laptop is actually, in fact, hard. And people depend on people. Alleged geniuses at a genius bar. How do you walk around and be like, I'm a genius at a Mac store? Like, what?
I was actually asked to work as at the Genius Bar because I brought in an old G5 tower old Mac before they became the Mac Pro, just with the Intel processors with the old IBM, and they had these radiators in there that looked like mini car radiators to help cool the system down. But I ended up taking a quad 2.7 whatever apart, and they recommend online not to do it, have a pressure. I took it all apart and I took the power supply out and I fixed it myself because I brought it in because they said they fixed it, but they missed a wire or something and it was shorting out, and I actually fixed it. And I brought in a different computer in for them to order a little MacBook Air display, and the guy asked me, how did that other computer work out? And I said, oh yeah, I fixed it. I took it apart. They're like, you took it apart? I'm like, yeah, I took it all apart and I fixed it. They're like, holy shit. So he went and told the supervisor, and the supervisor came out and they interviewed me, and they actually asked me if I could start working for Apple at the Genius Bar. They wanted to send me to Cupertino. I guess what they do before, it was before we were doing Apartment 13, it was at the time, and I'm like, I'm making a record right now. It was kind of cool. Maybe I should have did it just to have it on the side and maybe got a certificate, and then maybe I could have done stuff on the side. But
you can walk around calling yourself a Macintosh genius.
I feel kind of weird.
It sounds suspiciously like The Last Starfighter. All right, so the new album, I listened to it. It's a mature takeaway from the usual Gob album, which is more like an angry young man. But this album sounds like an angry, mature man.
Yeah.
The approach on it, basically...
It's definitely not me. It's the matured Tom.
Okay, it sounds like a mature Tom record.
I still stayed immature.
All right, so let's talk about the recording of it, because I didn't talk about the rest of you guys. Where did you guys record this?
We recorded it at a few different places. I did a lot of the tracking, and Tom did too. We did it all hands on, like, picked the microphones and like we recorded it. I actually built the computer, my own Hackintosh computer to.
I like that Hackintosh.
Yeah, I built my own Hackintosh to run, Pro Tools, but we used like analog gear and stuff that we recorded ourselves. We tracked it all ourselves. We wrote all the songs. Tom was fucking mad songwriter, and I mixed the record. I sent mixes to Tom because I was mixing it in Vancouver. He was living in New York, so we were going back and forth, and we just kind of figured what we were going to do with the record. And we and Tom put actually a lot of fucking hard work and time in making this record, like for the whole band. Because usually you'd get a producer and that, and then have other people working and engineers fucking doing it. You don't have to worry about that shit. But when you're doing it in that world, it's a lot more work. You're like not compromising as much because you have more of the free time, and it just takes longer to do though. But when you have a producer doing it, you kind of like get things like, okay, you gotta get this done, move next, that kind of thing, and you're working with a schedule or a budget. Where we weren't. I mean, we did it all ourselves. So the record, like a $50,000 record, but we did it for like $3,000.
But it sounds like a $50,000 record.
We put in all the time and the hours, but we never paid ourselves. We just paid for the stuff that it cost us to pay for materials to make the record.
Well,
which is $3,000 is nothing, right? So
I think that brings it back to the whole DIY punk rock thing, except that you guys are professionals. So it sounds like a $60,000 record, but it was done with love.
Yes, lots of love. Love making too.
The love costs most.
There was some love thrusts in there, love thrusts in the compression.
All right, so let's end on something fun. I was nerding out with Steven before. What is the movie you're looking most forward to out of the big 5 coming out? Like, we got Star Wars in December, we got Deadpool in February, we got Batman vs. Superman in March, we got Captain America Civil War in May. All these movies coming out. What brings out the inner kid in you?
Definitely Star Wars is going to bring the inner kid out. I feel that J.J. Abrams is going to probably lay waste to the prequels that Lucas should have never done, or just had someone else do it, or no green screen. Everyone's fucking acting to a stick with a green tennis ball on it. It's just so like dry, and like there was no character to it. Or I mean, just by seeing some of the trailers, it feels like a Star Wars movie more or less now. And JJ actually did Star Trek, those newer Star Trek movies, which he isn't a Star Trek fan at all either.
The only Star Trek movie I ever liked was those movies because they're directed like Star Wars movies.
Yeah. And the thing is, JJ is a Star Wars fan. JJ Abrams is a Star Wars fan first and foremost, as more than a Star Trek fan. But he did a great job with the Star Trek movies, I thought, too. So
amazing. Well, it was the most Star Wars.
He also did, Lost, which is one of my favorite TV shows. Fucking love that show. And I also watched The Fringe, which he did part of that, too. And I'm a fan of his stuff that he does. I mean, but I am stoked to see. Winter Soldier was like, I think Winter Soldier and Avengers, when it came out, were some of my favorite Marvel comic movies. And pretty much the Avengers, the second one, I was a little disappointed in it, especially after I saw Mad Max. And I just thought the special effects and just the way the movie was rendered, it was like a roller coaster ride, a thrill of a Hollywood blockbuster. That's what a summer blockbuster should be. It's like a fucking ride. And then went and saw Avengers 2, and I was just like, I was a little bit deflated, a bit wanting to see it. I still enjoyed it, but Age of Ultron's good, but I think Ultron, I don't know. There's something. It's just the thing about the million robots at the end. Like, I can go on about that. I don't know. There's some things that bug me about it. Like, there's
go on all you want, man.
I don't know, and it's just my opinion, I guess. But I mean, there's things that bug me about Age of Ultron. I think that Ultron making multiple millions of himself in such a short time, I thought that was kind of weird. But I don't know if he was just him making himself, and then the other selves making himself, multiple, whatever. I don't know. whatever. And I also thought the third Iron Man was kind of weak too, actually.
I really didn't like Iron Man 3. The first time I saw it in the theater, I saw a preview pass and everything. And then I saw it at my house, and I said, if I was 10 years old, this would be the best slumber party movie ever.
You're probably, you're right, And that, that's exactly what it is.
And then there's so many Marvel movies, you just got to find your Marvel movie. And Winter Soldier, to me, brings goosebumps in the back of my neck.
Great. That was a great, Avengers, the first one, and the Winter Soldier are actually written so well. And I mean, for a long time, I almost thought that Superman, the Christopher Reeve, the 1979 or 1980, whatever, when that came out, was one of the better superhero movies because everything was kind of, I mean, obviously X-Men 1 and 2 were good. Third one sucked. But First Class was good, and that one with Futures Past was pretty good too.
Futures Past is pretty much apologizing for X-Men 3.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
You're right. You are totally. Yeah. But what the fuck happened with Man of Steel? Did you like Man of Steel?
You know what? Part of me liked Man of Steel because I never saw Superman actually punch anyone in the face that hard. But at the same time, I understand.
I never seen him kill anyone either. Did you ever? That was the first.
Oh yeah. But this is the thing.
He did kill General Zod in Superman 2, but he kind of just showed him throwing him into where they were in Superman's home. They fall into smoke machine. That's what they do. Into the fortress, a crevasse in the Fortress of Solitude, but he died. But it was like a slapstick kind of.
Yeah, the thing about Man of Steel is that everything I had a problem with, they're justifying in Batman versus Superman because all the destruction just made Batman pissed off.
Yeah.
So, now the match of the century is based off of that. Yeah. Everything that was annoyed Batman, meaning I'm Batman, and that makes me feel good.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully, Ben Affleck can cut it as the new Batman.
I'm sure he can. Steve and I were talking about it.
I mean, you think about it. Superman blows a little bit of his fucking cold breath, freezes fucking Batman in 1 second, uses his hot eye beams, fucking blows him up, or just throws him out into fucking space towards the sun and he's dead. But Superman's too nice.
That's something about Man of Steel I like. He didn't throw anyone into the sun in this movie.
Or fly to the moon like in Superman 4. Yeah. Remember? It was so bad. You guys got to wrap this interview. Yeah, okay.
Okay, all right. Everyone's got to leave. Okay. Once again, wrapping it up. Thanks, Leo. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man.